Yes, I graduated in 1954, which was the same year the college was formed, and I became a member of the college, and I got involved with the Committee on Exams and the Board of Examiners, and for several years I convened the exam center that was held at McMaster University in Hamilton, and so yes, I was very much involved. We went to many of the workshops and meetings that were held, and had a great respect for Dr. Rice, who really did an incredible job of building the organization during some very tough years. I mean, he was executive director, I think, for 21 years, so he was there a long time.
Yeah. I guess what I was wondering was the timing of the establishment of these teaching units in '66. Because in the early 60s there was a series of workshops, national workshops that the college held. I think Betty Stevenson was the chair of the Committee on Education and so forth. Were you part of that process?
Yes, I was, and the most interesting thing for me was getting involved in, I think it was Don Rice that asked me, I guess the request came through the college. The deans were all meeting in Toronto, and they wanted someone to describe to them what was family medicine, like what was it all about. And for some reason, again, I don't know why, but anyway, he asked me if I'd do it, and I agreed. But it was a 1-hour lecture that I was to give to the deans, and I was scared. I was quite young at the time, and anyway, I put this together, and just it was a recounting of what my work was like and the kind of things I did and didn't do. And one of the examples I gave them was the cancellation of the Avro Arrow, which happened, I believe, in 1959, and had a huge effect on patients of mine that worked for Avro. And they had great fringe benefits, and they lost all those, and some of them got depressed, some got peptic ulcers, and so on and so forth. So I included this as just an example of how a community experience influenced the work and life of a family doctor in the community. And the newspapers at this conference picked this up, and it hit the headlines of all 3 Toronto dailies the next day. I was quite on the edge about it, but they hired a public relations consultant who earned his big fees simply by telling me to go and get lost and not talk to anybody, and the whole thing blew over. But it was interesting that for many years later, people would be going through the newspaper archives, and they'd come onto that story, and they'd seek me out, find me somehow, and want to talk to me about it.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that was interesting how you have to be careful what you say in the public domain, because it can come back and do a 360 on you. Yeah.